I wanted to speak about this later, but since we're discussing this topic, I wanted to ask you European basketball, because you played a few years ago. Was it better then or is it better now, in your opinion? Just as a big picture, the quality of the game, the way people enjoy it. Overall, what do you think of this?
I think people more now enjoying because, okay, again, many games. Let's say one main reason before, because when I used to play Euroleague, I kind of catch all, how you call it, kind of systems like, not calendars, kind of systems, because I remember one year you had like kind of groups, and
Yeah,
then
true.
you can play even 10 games.
Yeah.
If you finish last, you are out. If you finish above the last, you go to Eurocup.
True, I remember this.
Yeah.
I remember
So
this.
it can happen that you play only 10 games in the Euroleague.
You catch the formats.
Bravo, format,
Yes.
sorry
Yeah.
for the word, format. And then, for example, a year after was, let's say, four groups by 6 teams, something like that. So you can play 10 games and you're out, let's say. Then I then I catch different format. Then when I was CSKA, I remember I play Final Four, final game, 31 games completely. Now you play, before was 36, now you have what, 38,
Yeah.
guaranteed, but plus playoff, but
It's
too
a
many
lot.
games. And then why I'm saying this, before maybe you will not face Real Madrid, Barcelona, CSKA, big teams because you're in one group with some other. But now actually with this one group, which again, it's a lot, too many games, all these best teams will come to your city, to your gym to face. And okay, again, like new technology, they're trying to entertain, to make fun, to make attention of the people, to watch, to click something or whatever on the courts. Many things they're doing to force them to come to watch. So I would say, like, yes, it's more like fun for the people looking from outside. For the players, again, too many games, and even now they are trying to find a common language between FIBA, Euroleague, now even maybe NBA is coming, like everybody's saying, and too many games, but at the end it looks like nobody's asking the players for opinion. They're making
Which has to be
decisions.
important.
Yes, but okay, I was kind of, when I was finishing career, ELPA started, the association of the players. I was big kind of part of it
Nice.
at the beginning, and even that time I was saying, okay, whatever we do is for the next generation, because nothing will happen over the night in 1-2 years. And okay, again, at that time we managed to do a lot of things, and even now, like, okay, finally players have a lot of rights, let's say, in the EuroLeague. So again, I'm saying, like, a balance. We cannot close the eyes. Okay, back in the days it was like this, and now so we have to also change ourselves.
Because it's different game, as you said.
Different. That time, for example, I was saying, I don't have nothing against America, so people don't get me wrong, but that time you could bring you bring 2 or 3, let's say, Americans who really making difference, not only money wise, but by quality. Especially I'm coming from Serbia, where it's normal. At that time, Partizan Resta was kind of producing talents and players and selling them and sending all over the Europe and NBA. Now it's opposite. Now we have 8-9 Americans. Although, okay, we have more, let's say, Europeans in NBA, so it's kind of circle, you know. So I cannot say quality drops down. But again, basketball become very fast. Before was, again, 30 seconds offense. Now it's like 24.
Like 30 seconds,
Before me, no 3-point. I started playing when I was 3-point. Because sometimes somebody asks me, okay, can you make the team? And then I was really like, but I play against many legends. Like, okay, now everybody knows because of their coach. Panoulis, Jaskevicius. But I play against all Greek legends. Even Albertis. I play Diamantidis. I cannot even remember, but all possible legends. I play also with Marconato, Basile from Italy. Back to previous question, new generation, they don't even know. Because we play in Oaxaca, let's say, I don't know, 5 or 6 years ago. These banners with the legends.
Yes.
Bodiroga.
It is not there anymore.
And I was, like Dominic Wilkins, I was to our America, say, no, they don't know.
They don't know.
So yes, back in the days was really like great basketball. We had great superstars. Great. Now I cannot say great superstars, of course, like fact. This probably will go again in like anecdotes all over the news because this is who I am. Mike James, I like him a lot. We
Yes.
played together in Milano 1 year. Huge respect from me. Huge respect. Now I think he's the best scorer of the Euroleague, right? I don't know, 4,000 or 5,000 points.
Yeah.
All time, yes, he's the best. Yeah,
Yeah.
all time, yeah.
He
all
cleared
time,
his
But
coach.
he didn't win anything, let's say. I'm not counting cup, domestic league, you know, like if you are talking about Euroleague, okay, let's talk about Euroleague.
Yeah.
You are the best scorer, history, ever.
Yeah.
We say in Serbia this, you know, like,
Yeah.
but you didn't win the EuroLeague. So, you know, like this is the...
We had him on the podcast, and we asked him who's the greatest EuroLeague player of all time. He said, me. What do you think? Like, do the titles count for legacy? What do you think? Like, for example, who's the best player of all time for you in Europe?
Don't ask me. No, I cannot say. There's no one name. Even if 10 players now, I cannot say.
You told me, I saw in previous interviews you did, you really loved Bodiroga as a player, and you shaped your game off of him. And a lot of people put him, for example, in the comments, a lot of people said, hey, but before you say you, Mike, Bodiroga is over you. Spanoulis is over you, so...
No, but again, you know, like I cannot just look now, let's say, last 5 years. Like you have to, even my generation, even the generation before, as I said. So it's super hard to find, super hard.
I get this no title thing, but if we talk about the player itself, you don't think Mike is the best?
I would say. Again, I was playing with him maybe 7 years ago, something like that.
Yeah.
I don't play 4. He was in Milano 2nd year, so I would say 7 years ago. Okay, that time Baskonia, Panathinaikos after, I'm not even sure. So he was kind of, you know, like showing himself, big name, but didn't do anything in career, and then he started moving, you know, like up and playing great basketball. But again, if you look points, again, before was 10 games in the EuroLeague. Before you could play 16 games. I told you just like in CSKA, Final Four, Final 31 game. Now you have 40 something you could play.
it's a lot.
More opportunity to score. So sometimes when you make these standings, that's what I'm saying. If you're gonna talk about EuroLeague again, huge respect to Mike. Let's say I cannot say best player. Same, I cannot say best Jaskevicius, Spanoulis, or whatever Diamantidis. Yes, I can put them in top 3, top 5. But again, I have to show respect to all the generation, new generations, you know, like Kyle Hines, Chacho, these kind of players, you know, and then how to choose the best one.
You think there's too many Americans in the EuroLeague?
But now, yes. But again, we cannot play against them.
Yeah.
And obviously now in the States, you know, like I'm happy that also European players are kind of involved a lot, showing that they can play as a superstars. So just to, you know, to make some balance.
I want to come back to you as a player in this comparison between both generation. Is there a player currently that plays in the EuroLeague that reminds you of you as a player? Because you were this type of really, you said also, I remember in CSKA you said you come off the bench and you don't mind, and you were this type of player who doing all the stuff, shooting, but defense, but being the glue guy. So who's the player that is like you kind of?
But now, honestly, I'm not thinking that way, or at least I'm not trying to find him, but someone who was close to me. Simon Krunoslav was kind of, especially one period we was kind of following him. He was in Milano before me, then I arrived, then he moved to Turkey, then I come to Turkey.
Yeah.
You know, like I could play few positions. I could play back to the basket. I play pick and roll. Many coaches trust me, giving me ball and responsibility playing pick and roll. Okay, I shoot. So kind of many things I could do it. But now, honestly, I'm not kind of following that much basketball to try to find, okay, this guy reminds me of me. There is one kid, let's say, in Turkish league that I cannot say reminds me. I like his game moves that, let's say, okay, this is kind of me, or because he's young, and then like, okay, I like this guy, something like that. But I don't think that way, or at least I was not paying attention. Like, okay, because now again, game changed a lot. Become very fast, more running gun, let's say, too much running, too much, for me at least. How you say this, like shots that, at least to me, doesn't make sense. You know, you just run and shoot, like, okay. But
that's the coach's instructions, though. Now is like just have more possessions.
But also to back in the previous question, they need also to update. You know, that's why, like you cannot. Okay, let's play 24 seconds. the basket become very, very fast. Especially also with new players coming, with new philosophy,
Mhm.
you have to also update.
We see Valencia,
yourself.
Paris basketball. It's just a whole new era of basketball starting. Like I feel right here.
Yes, when also Paris, for example, with Thiago Splitter, how
Yeah.
they play, like
That
Amazing.
was
run and gun,
unbelievable.
run and gun, run and gun, shoot. You know,
Yeah, it's
like,
crazy.
most of the coaches will never adapt over there.
Yeah.
Let's say.
Who is this Turkish kid you mentioned that is kind of similar to your style? Just so we can mention him.
The kid from Merkez Efendi.
Okay, we're gonna put his name. We're gonna find him. We're
No,
gonna
the
figure it out.
Belgian kids.